right. Fred, the show.
That's our first announcer track for this show. It is Fred the Show, and we've got a great one for you today because we've got some guests that you know, and you've known them for more than 20 years because that's how old, at this point now, Napoleon Dynamite is. I can't believe it's been 21 years. Jon Heder here, Efren Ramirez is here, Jon Gries is here. You're not driving right now and talking, are you?
Oh, it's be careful.
Distracted.
What are you talking about? Come on. All right.
Okay, we're all safe. We're all in good shape. Hey, we are excited to see you guys because you're on the road right now showing this movie. You're talking to the fans and you're coming.
We're not showing the movie while we're on the road, just so you know.
Okay, glad we made that distinction. You're going to be in Spartanburg, December 6th at Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium. First of all, I've got so many questions about the movie, but let's just talk about the evening ahead and what people are going to see.
Let's talk about it. Well, you watch the movie if you haven't seen it 5 billion times already. No, we're going to show the movie, and then afterward, we come out and do our live portion, which is, you've all been there for Q&A. We're taking the Q&A and we're putting it on crack cocaine. It's like
steroids.
It's a live portion. There might be some music. There might be some scene recreations. We do activities. We talk. We ask questions. We don't want to give away too much, but it's a very interactive kind of experience.
There might be a time machine.
Oh,
And we do some music as well, and we have a lot of interaction with the crowd. Yeah.
well, we're looking forward to that. I got to talk about this movie. So for openers, first of all, it is just hilarious. Is this one of those movies that is so best to be watched with a group? Because I love the uncomfortable pauses.
Most entertainment, you think you would lead that way, but I think this movie is best watched in a dark closet alone. It makes sense. I'm sure that's how you did it, Fred.
Mm-hmm.
You watch everything alone in a dark corner. But it is, we have heard from many fans that it is a great holiday staple. It's not a holiday movie, but come Thanksgiving, come family
gathering. Exactly.
Love to get together, watch it. So yeah, it is a pretty great one to watch with loved ones, with non-loved ones.
So
And I will add, Fred, is that it's really nice to be able to see the audience who are such big fans of the movie dressed up as the characters, whether they're Uncle Rico, Napoleon, or Lafana, or Grandma, or the Llama, or a Tater Tot, right? Or even Pedro, and to see that they're all getting together in this theater just to enjoy something that they love, for over the years.
It's also, I think it's a nostalgic film to begin with, and it just inherently, and I think that there's something about seeing it in the theater after 20 years when a lot of these people had already seen it in the theater. They're bringing people that have never seen it in the theater, and having that experience for the first time is definitely, it just augments the whole feel.
Okay, this was an independent movie. The story is it was made for $400,000. It made $46 million. I know, obviously, you got the big haul of that. But
we didn't.
Why? Where did you get that info?
We're driving in a Nissan Road, man. What are you talking about?
We're not you over the steak.
well, when you showed up in Preston, Idaho, Jon, let me first start with you. What was on the page of Napoleon Dynamite?
John?
Yeah, that one. I'm getting to you because I got great questions for Jon Gries as well. But what was on the paper? What was for this character? How much of it was in the script, and how much did you create?
I think there was a little bit of a snot bubble on the paper. Jared had just sneezed on it when I read it. It was all there, man. Jared and I were in sync 100% on what this character looked like, sounded like, how he moved, how he talked. So it was, you read a little bit what's on the paper, but it was all in our heads exactly how this was going to play out.
So, Jon, you had been in Running Scared. You had been in Real Genius, Seinfeld. When you show up for this independent movie, what were you thinking?
The interesting thing is I had the opportunity to read the script, and luckily for me, I got it. Like when I read it, I knew that it was really good. There were a lot of people that were offered the role of Uncle Rico before I was. And unfortunately, they probably had really powerful agents who were just saying, no, don't read it. We're not going to do it. They have no money. It's not worth it. Who are these people? They're unproven. And I was not in that position at that time. I just was like, okay, I love independent film. I like to read, stuff that is potentially interesting and fun to do. And luckily, this was just so beautifully written that I jumped on board immediately. Like, I didn't even finish reading the first sit through. I think I was 30 pages in, and I called my manager and I said, yeah, I'm doing it.
Wow.
I'm going to do it.
Glad you did. Efren, what were your thoughts? What did you see in Pedro?
I hope I could do it. It's like you work as an actor and you go, all right, what's the next job? And so when something like Napoleon Dynamite, when the opportunity came, I thought like, well, I hope I could do a really good job with this. But what's really inviting is the fact that it is an independent film shot by these guys who were going to college, straight out of college. And it's something that they believed in, and I was a part of that, and I thought like, wow, maybe this could turn out to be something special, and even after 20 years, over 20 years, it still is.
Obviously, you knew that this movie, once you were done with it, was going to be a movie you would be talking about not only 21 years later, but for many years to come.
We had no idea. We knew that we all love the film. That's why we call ourselves the original fans. That's why when we do these shows, we're interactive with the fans because we feel really kind of, other than the fact that we were the first and we are in the film, but we feel no different about the film than they do. We love this film. But we had no idea. I mean, it took, a company like Fox Searchlight. There are many other bidders, but they didn't have maybe at the time, the muscle or the juice to promote this film the right way. These guys had the right idea, and they utilized MTV, and they pulled in like a cadre of different companies that were able to really platform this in a way that it got the eyeballs on it, because even exhibitors in the beginning weren't going to show this movie after 2 weeks, but they kept it there. In the first couple of weeks, there was no audiences, but they liked the film and they believed in the film, and Fox Searchlight said, keep the film there. And after 6 weeks, it started to gain momentum, and then it turned into something. And we were equally surprised, as much as we knew we loved the film. It's such a crapshoot,
When you make a movie like this that becomes this great a success and this big of a classic, that means how many days, let me take that, not say days, how many minutes can you go out in public without someone stopping you, wanting to say a line? What are those encounters like one-on-one?
That's a question probably for Efren.
Yeah, it's interesting. We just had, we find really classic diners in local areas, and we thought we were in the middle of nowhere, and in West Virginia, and it took one of the owners to come up to our table and say, hey, we know who you guys are.
I think it's exponential. If we're either one of us on their own walk out, it might take a while, but when you put all three of us together, it's
bing, 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 bing.
Yeah, it's a little harder to get around.
Efren, what happened the first time you were out and about before maybe the movie came out, or maybe after that you saw a Vote for Pedro t-shirt, and what were your thoughts?
Well, you work in a movie and then you continue on with your life and go, okay, what's the next play am I going to do? And I remember having to be with my friends, and we walked into this mall where Hot Topic, it was rumored that they were selling items of Napoleon Dynamite, but I just didn't know how much. So, my friends and I walked in, and they had an entire wall of not only T-shirts, but lunch pails, socks, hats, chonies, right? Thermal cups, and somebody, it took a person to say, look at me and say, hey, you're Pedro, and And I just got mobbed, and then security came in, and they're like, "All right, Mr. Ramirez, we love you, but
they threw you out."
They threw me out. It was just a mob. It was interesting.
Jon Heder, when you, how many people approach you with offers of tater tots and chapstick?
We literally just like moments ago got offered tots at this restaurant we were at. But you know, it's not too bad. Normally, if I'm alone, nobody recognizes me. I just don't talk because my voice gives it away. But hey, I'll take it up because I like tots. Everyone, all you tot makers out there, I'll take it.
That's classic. I love that. And I love the way Napoleon says idiot, because the first time I heard that, I thought, I think that's exactly how I sound on the golf course when I hit a bad shot. And I get to say it a lot. What are the
And you probably told it a lot too.
Yeah. How often do people come up and they want to hear the lines?
I mean, you know, more they just like to say the lines, I think, more so than they don't have enough guts to ask us, but they have enough guts to just start rattling off the lines to us, and we're like, okay.
Gosh! And then we walk away.
I got just a couple of moments left with you. Again, this is going to be a great show. I'm going to put this up here real quick. Go to the Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium website. Get your tickets now. December 6th. It's a Saturday night, so you have no excuses to see Napoleon Dynamite. You get to see the movie. You get to see it on a big screen with a lot of people, and then you get to see these guys. What are some of the most interesting fan encounters you have at these shows?
Well, you know, I'm going to jump in. Some of the sentimental ones are pretty intense. I mean, we've met continually service men and women that were in Iraq and in Afghanistan, and they in the beginning there was one who would say, you know, this our platoon, we only had one DVD and we watched it every night after being on patrol during the day, and it saved us every day. And, you know, I at first thought, oh my gosh, maybe that's a little bit exaggerated. But then throughout time, as we were doing these shows, we started to meet more people from the same exact platoon, and they tell the same story over and over again. And it's pretty moving. It's pretty moving that you're just making a film with a bunch of people, and the film happens to be so good that it can actually bring relief and help people even momentarily through tough times. That to me is incredible power of the film. It's certainly not of us. We just happen to be the meat puppets that were in it. But of the film itself and how really the tentacle.
It brings warmth and joy to our hearts, and then we get ticked off when we find out that they've been watching, illegal DVDs that they didn't pay for. They were just pirated, and we're like, thanks for, stiffing us on the.
I do have to say, Fred, what's really nice to see is that this is a film that brings families together. I mean, we. From theater to theater, seeing grandparents to the college students, to the high school kids, to the little kids who are dressed up as the characters, where the film is older than them, and there's such gung-ho about not only quoting the film, but are just fans of how silly this film can be, but how meaningful it is.
Well, please finish.
No, I was going to say we're kind of like the new It's a Wonderful Life in a strange way.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
You heard him on the record. We're better than Jimmy Stewart.
No, we love Jimmy Stewart. We actually get to be in the same arena with. It's kind of amazing because people do tend, as Jon said at the beginning, watch this film, particularly on holidays, family get-togethers, things like that.
It's a wonderful place to live. You guys said it so well. We are looking forward to having you in Spartanburg in early December. Thanks for being with me today. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Fred.
Thank you.
And if you come to the show, don't bring your chickens if they have large talons.
We'll make all your wildest dreams come true.
I like how that works. You guys, thanks. We appreciate it so much. More Fred the Show coming up in just a moment.
Fred the Show.
Peace out.
Happy holidays.
Welcome back to Fred the Show. We are talking a lot about, of course, Helene. It's been more than a year, but it's going to take a long time before Western North Carolina looks remotely like what it once did. But progress is being made all the time, especially one of my favorite places, and that would be, of course, Lake Lure. The mayor of the town of Lake Lure, Carol Pritchett, is with me today on Fred the Show. First of all, Carol, thank you for joining us.
I am delighted to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
It's a great pleasure to see you again. I was up there, I can't believe, but it's been about 3 months ago.
I know.
We came up and did a story on Lake Lure, Chimney Rock, and Bat Cave, and the progress that you had made, and it was substantial at that point. This was back in August. Now we're about 3 months later. Let me ask you where you are right now, and I want to start by talking about it's fall now. And one of the things that you and every leader up there would tell us is that, like, Lake Lure open for business, and you were hoping to have a big fall. What have you seen?
Well, we certainly have seen an increase, which has been wonderful. The leaves are beautiful here. They're all turning, and that's so encouraging to everybody. It's so beautiful here at any time of the year, but this is a particularly spectacular time. So that certainly we're seeing people start to come back in. We're at a real wonderful point right now. Our lake, which, we've been working on for over a year, the Army Corps of Engineers under FEMA has been here removing sedimentation and debris from the lake, and they are projecting that they will be complete on November the 20th. So this very propitious time to be talking about this, that's just about a week away. And certainly that will mean that we'll be able to begin the process of bringing the lake back up to full pond. Full pond for our lake is 990.5 mean sea level. We're about at 975 right now, and we'll have to keep it there in order to do some repairs on the dam for the tainter gates, which require it to be down at least to 12 to 15 feet. But after that's done, and we envision that being completed by February the 8th, then we'll be able to bring it back up to full pond. So if the rain gods are in favor of us and happy with us this year, we surely should be able to be at full pond by May, hopefully even earlier than that. We can only raise the lake a foot a day, and that does not happen on the run of the river. You have to have rain. But we are positing now, we're very, very confident that that will happen. That's so important to our businesses to be able to make plans, and for tourists to make plans, people to plan weddings, all those things for next spring and summer. So we're at a very optimistic and thankful point right now.
When we were up there, I think you were 32 feet below full pond. So you've cut that in half, and you're at this holding pattern right now. The job you were just starting during our visit was that when you were on the beach, instead of the water being there, it was just enormous, some form of grass. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Yeah.
It looked like we were growing crops, didn't it?
Yeah. It looked like a field for a farm. So all that, the dredging work is done. Is it now kind of shoring up, the lake area?
It is. And so the marinas, all that has been removed. The marinas have been excavated. They're doing the final touches on it, finishing up both the marinas and making sure they had built some roads which they needed in the riverbed in order to transport material. So all of that material is being taken out because, of course, those would interfere with boats being able to be in the water. So some of that is being used to shore up some of the sides of the river as it comes into Lake Lure, but also the rest of it is being used to put in Morse Park to grade that so that drains really well. So the work has not stopped, but there's every reason to believe that they'll be able to hit that deadline on the 20th.
I do have one bit of good news for you. I've got one piece of video I'm going to show, and I'm not showing any kind of Helene damage. I took some of these from your Facebook page, and it just looks unbelievable there right now. And what a difference. When we were up there, I think you were having about 300 truckloads a day that were going out of there. What's kind of that work like now? What's the sound of Lake Lure right now?
Well, the sound of Lake Lure now is just a blissful silence, to be honest with you. And we are so thankful for every one of those trucks that came, believe me, and transported all the debris and the sediment to Enoree, South Carolina. The trucks are no longer on the roads because what's being excavated now is going to be used to, as I said, grade Morse Park to make sure that is graded well and drains very well. So much calmer, but they're still in the lake beds. They're shoring up a lot of the sides of the river as it comes into the lake to do things to prevent, should we have another storm, more erosion. So much more peaceful now. The Army Corps is demobilized here, so not so many people there. So it seems very tranquil here, to tell you the truth.
That is great to hear. You've had some events already. We showed some photos of some of them. What kind of events are coming up right now as you head into the holiday season?
Well, lots of people, it's just beginning for people to be able to celebrate. Lots of things are being planned. And of course, as you know, we're beginning to plan for our centennial year, which is 1927, which honors the year that Lake Lure was incorporated in 1927. So lots of celebrations and plans are being made where that's concerned. There's so many things happening now. There are so many weddings here. People are coming for the weekends. People are coming in for the leaves. There are fall festivals. There are Christmas. I know at the Inn on Lake Lure, there's a Dickens Christmas event that happens on, I believe, December the 19th and 20th, and it's just marvelous. Wonderful dinners and entertainment there. So things are getting back to normal, and people come here for Thanksgiving and for Christmas and really enjoy that sort of as a getaway vacation for the holidays.
What is the thing that's probably the biggest job ahead outside of the lake itself? I did see, by the way, that you're making some progress as far as cell service goes. You've got a new tower that's coming up to improve things.
We are so thankful for that. That began construction, I guess, about a month ago, and we've been working on that since I've been mayor for 6 years. The tower's being built now, and we envision that by early January, it will be ready for service. The tower will be erected prior to that, but then the different carriers will have to hook up to it. So we're thinking probably by January, we will finally have cell service here. And, that is so important on so many different planes from the standpoint of tourism, people coming here wanting to be able to use their cell phones, etc. But from the standpoint of safety, but prior to this, people have not been able to reach anyone when they dialed 911. It was such a major factor in the hurricane, with all the first responders being able to communicate with each other. So this is just a huge step forward. And one other thing, it enables people to actually live here and work remotely. When we know how much a part of that that is our world now, our environment, being able to. And so many people have two homes here. Maybe this is a second home, so they know they can come up here. Maybe they can stay up here for the summer and go somewhere else for the winter, but they can work from here. So that's going to be huge for us. You
came to Lake Lure. You became involved with city government. You became the mayor.
Did.
And when you and city council got your most recent, town council got your most recent elections, you were looking at the future of Lake Lure. I want to give you the opportunity to talk about the work that everybody's done up there, because none of you signed up for this knowing that this was the kind of job you would have. You've been going at this now for more than a year.
Well, we have. One of the things that helped us in that, one of the things that attracted me to this position was, Lake Lure is 100 years old, and that means our infrastructures are 100 years old. They're aging, as is the infrastructures all over our United States. So when I first became mayor, we were already looking at the vulnerability of aging infrastructure to withstand a disaster. We never could have imagined that would be coming as it did with Hurricane Helene, but still you start preparing for that. So we'd already begun the process of exploring what did we need to do. We started partnerships with DEQ, with dam safety, with people in the state, with DOT, with our engineers, Labella for the sewer and Schnabel for the dam. So we've begun those processes and had in mind really a lot of the designs that we've already been working on. And that was very fortunate for us. And so we were maybe a little bit more ready when the hurricane came, though we didn't expect to have to expedite it this quickly, to be more or less, as you use the term, shovel ready, because we know what needs to be done. We identified so many of those things, and it made it easier for us to be able to explain what our needs were. So I think everybody on our council was really prepared as you could be for this, having already begun to delve into what we needed to do.
I want to put up your town's website right now, townoflakelure.com. I would also recommend for fans of Lake Lure like me to follow the Facebook page. One thing that you guys have been elite with on day one has been your social media presence and getting the word about what's happening. And it's not a quarterly update. It is very regularly updated.
You know, that was something that was so important to me from the moment I became mayor. I'm such a believer in transparency and in sharing information with everyone in the community. You know, one of the first things that I had to do as mayor way back then when we first started was raise taxes, because we realized at that point we needed to begin saving for a new dam. And so we raised taxes not once, but raised them again 2 years later to start a dam capital reserve fund. And we accrete $1.6 million each year. And, you know, that was so, it was understood by the community. It was supported by the community, because I truly believe that if you tell people you're very truthful and you're very transparent about what you're doing, then you follow through on that and you really use the money, in this case, for what you said we're going to use it for. And we have about $9 million in that dam capital reserve fund now. And that's a long way from paying for a new dam, but it's a start. So I think when you do that and you are constantly updating people, and we are so very fortunate, our communications director, Laura Krigi, is just an incredible, amazing woman. And as you said, we don't update monthly. Every single day we try to update, we try to make sure everyone is informed so that everybody feels together with us as we address all those problems. And it pays off. It truly does. It's the sense of a whole community solving a problem.
Got to run, but let me just ask you one more thing. The idea right now is that while Lake Lure is open, come see you. Lake Lure, the water, you're still looking by Memorial Day?
By Memorial Day of next year. Yes, we definitely are. We are very hopeful. We have an event that takes place every year in March, and that is college rowers from different universities, mainly in the Northeast because it's cold up there, come on their spring break to practice. And that's something we've always hosted. So we're very hopeful that they can get on the lake and do their practice rowing if it's just 12 feet down. So we're very hopeful that we know we'll be probably at that point, maybe be at full pond by then. But we are just absolutely almost as certain as you can be, barring anything else, that we'll be ready by May to be full and open. But in the meantime, come and see us for all the other lovely things that you can do here. You sure do. Mayor Carol Pritchett with the town of Lake Lure, thank you for being with us today. We will stay in touch with you. Thank you so much, Fred. Come back and see us again. We enjoyed your being here. Thank you so much. We will definitely. That is Fred the Show here on WSPA Plus. We'll see you next time right here.